You ever wonder why some brands just get you? They feel like they stand for something more than just, a product. They connect with us on a totally different level. Well, guess what? It's not an accident. There's a secret language at play, and today, we're going to learn how to speak it.
Okay, so let's start with a little riddle. What do Nike, Harley-Davidson, and Apple really have in common? I mean, sure, they sell shoes, motorcycles, and electronics, but that's not it. The real thread that connects them, the thing that makes them so iconic, isn't what they sell. It's the stories they tell.
And it turns out there's a decoder ring for this language. It comes from this incredible book, The Hero and the Outlaw. The whole idea is that the most powerful brands aren't built on slick marketing, but on these ancient, universal story patterns called archetypes. This book is basically our treasure map.
So, what in the world is an archetype? Well, think of it like the operating system for the human brain. These are the original characters, the hero, the rebel, the wise old wizard that have shown up in our myths and legends for thousands of years, all across the globe. They're basically hardwired into our DNA, which is why we're so drawn to them.
In this quote from the book, man, this is everything. Archetypes provide the missing link between customer motivation and product sales. Let that sink in. What it's saying is that when a brand nails its archetype, it stops being about just selling you something. Instead, it starts to fulfill a deep, fundamental human need. That's the magic trick. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to walk through the 12 main archetypes, and they're all grouped under 4 basic human drives. We've got our yearning for paradise, our desire to leave a mark, our need to connect, and our drive for control. And then we'll wrap it all up by seeing how this becomes the brand's true north.
First up, let's talk about that search for paradise. This is a big one. It's that deep-down desire we all have for a better world, for a sense of freedom, and for true fulfillment. It's about finding our own slice of heaven.
Okay, so in this group, you've got 3 main flavors. First, there's the innocent. This archetype is all about pure happiness and simplicity. Think of Ivory Soap. Its promise is simple, a pure, gentle world. Then you've got the explorer, who's all about freedom and finding a more authentic life. Levi's just screams this, right? The open road, adventure, being true to yourself. And finally, the sage, whose whole purpose is to find the truth and understand the world. What's a better example than Oprah's book club, guiding millions to wisdom?
So you see the pattern here, right? All 3 of these archetypes are basically offering us a little taste of paradise. They're just offering different tickets to get there. Whether it's through simple goodness, a thrilling journey, or profound knowledge, the end goal is a feeling of fulfillment.
Now, if that first group was about finding paradise, this next one is all about building it, or maybe shaking it up a little. These archetypes are for anyone who wants to make an impact, take some risks, and really leave their thumbprint on the world.
And this group? This is where things get really dynamic. You've got the hero, who's all about proving their worth through courageous action. I mean, does it get any clearer than Nike's "just do it"? Then you have its polar opposite, the outlaw, the rebel who wants to tear down the system. Harley-Davidson is the outlaw archetype. And then there's the magician, who promises to make your dreams come true, to totally transform your reality. The classic Calgon Take Me Away is pure magician.
And I just love this visual contrast here. On one side, you have Mobile's Pegasus, that soaring winged horse. That's the hero promising power and mastery. And on the other, Apple's original logo, a bite from the forbidden fruit. That's the ultimate symbol of rebellion. 2 totally different ways to change the world, captured in a single image.
Okay, let's shift gears. Our next group of archetypes taps into something that's maybe the most human of all our needs, the desire to connect, to belong, and to just enjoy life with other people. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be an island.
So how do we connect? Well, first there's the regular guy or gal. The goal here is simple, to just fit in, to be okay exactly as you are. Wendy's has always had that friendly, down-to-earth vibe. Then there's the lover, who's all about intimacy, passion, and connection. Hallmark literally built its entire business on helping us say, "I love you." And finally, you've got the jester, who reminds us not to take life so seriously. Their goal is to have fun and live for the moment. Think about all those fun, classic Miller Lite ads.
The book uses this image of the tomb of the unknown soldier to make a really powerful point about the regular guy archetype. Its power doesn't come from being special, it comes from celebrating the virtue of being ordinary, of being one of us. It taps into our deep respect for the everyman, and that's an incredibly strong emotional connection.
All right, on to our final group. These are the archetypes for when the world feels messy and chaotic. They tap into our fundamental need for stability,
for order, and for a little bit of control when things feel out of control. These are the world builders.
And these archetypes build that structure in a few different ways. You've got the caregiver, who is driven to nurture and protect. Think of the old AT&T Ma Bell persona, literally the caring mother of the phone system. Then there's the creator, who needs to innovate and build things of lasting value. Williams Sonoma is perfect. It helps you create a beautiful, orderly home. And finally, the ruler, who promises control, power, and prosperity. American Express, with its elite status and security, is the ruler through and through.
This visual says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you have the wild, chaotic, unpredictable forest, and on the other, a perfect, orderly, classical building. That is exactly what this group of archetypes does. It promises to take the chaos of our lives and give it structure, safety, and stability.
So, we've met all 12 archetypes. We've seen how they work. But what's the big picture takeaway here? Why does any of this actually matter? Well, it matters because this framework is more than just a cool theory. It's a compass. It helps a brand find its true north and stay on course.
So let's just boil it all down. At the end of the day, archetypes give a brand a system for managing its meaning. When you lock on to one of these deep, universal human needs, you create an identity that's powerful and that lasts. It cuts through all the noise and clutter of marketing and creates a genuine, human connection.
And you know what the best part is? Now you know the secret too. You have the key. From now on, you won't just see a commercial or a logo. You'll be able to decode the real story that the brand is trying to tell you, day in and day out.
So I'll leave you with a challenge. Think about your absolute favorite brand, the one you defend in an argument. Now ask yourself, which of these 12 stories is it really selling you? Are you just buying a pair of shoes? Or are you answering a call to be a hero? What story are you choosing to be a part of?